Hey Ravi here. Good evening. Are you able to hear my voice? If you are able to hear, can you say yes in the comment box? All right. Thank you, Prabhakar. Much appreciated. All right. We'll start in a few minutes. I'll also post in Twitter. Let's post the link. All right. So, Milind Deshmukh, how to get the link? Can you DM me on Twitter? I'll send across. All right. So I think we can start. Hey Anbu, welcome. I think you were from Kerala. That's what you mentioned in the Twitter. All right. So let me quickly share my screen and. Coimbatore, sorry, apologies. I just pinged you. All right. So we'll start in a minute, and let me share my screen very quickly.
It's 17 hours.
Okay. I think I applied this indicator only. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, we are at 5 o'clock. Maybe we'll wait for one more minute by the time people from Twitter join us, and we can quickly start. Before that, any questions that you have, any of you? All right, I think can we automate this 100%? We can definitely automate. I'll also tell you how to automate. You need to have definitely the option. I mean, either options or stocks data. So you will be able to do it. No problem. ST setting. I think right now I used 10.4. 10.4 is my favorite. So I usually use 10.4. The reason is the number of signals would be very less there. I think we will start. So first of all, yeah, SuperTrend, yeah, ST SuperTrend, that's right. So first of all, thanks to all of you for joining, and yeah, I'll take the questions in a moment. And this is basically when I shared the indicator, a lot of people asked me how to use it, so I thought I will quickly cover how to use this part. And so for, I think most of you would have got the indicator from here. This is my GitHub account anyway. Yeah, I think this one. So this is the link. If somebody doesn't have the indicator, if you go to the indicator, you will see the code. So what we will do is we will straight away copy paste the code and then put there. So a lot of people asked me how to even add the indicator. This got the read me. I don't think you need to read the indicator for now, but I will quickly explain what this indicator means and how you can use it. And also, I think a lot of times people also have questions around what kind of time frame that people has to use. So that also I will cover to some extent. That is nothing to do with this indicator, but then that's more of a generic question. So I'm not going through step by step of this, but you can probably read this when you get time. No, I mean, technically it's not required for you to actually read it, but that's absolutely all right. So now let's say you all got this indicator, right? So this, I want to give a credit to Tradematic X. His original name is different, so I'm not mentioning his name here because he chose to be not to be heard with his original name. So that's the reason you can probably check with him on this one. He's part of the traders club which I manage, which is WhatsApp group at this point of time. So there are about 230 250 people. I think about 235, I think. The exact number I keep forgetting. So we got about 233 members. So we also remove people when they do not behave well. So so as of now 233. But anyway, so he joined this group recently, and then we were discussing what are the strategies. And uh, so then he actually shared something. Then I thought, okay, let me automate this so that it's useful for a lot of other people. So you first copy this, and then go to trading view. Here, in fact, right now I have this indicator, but then trading view, all the indicators in trading view are done using something called Pine script. So this is also a Pine script. And some people ask me, is this a Python script? It is not a Python script, it's a Pine script. So you go to create new and then new indicator. So you got to see version 6 or whatever. So you get rid of everything and then paste here. That's all. So I think very rarely you may get truncation kind of a thing, but in this particular copy paste, I don't think we're going to get any of those errors. So now just for the just to differentiate these two, I will actually save this as a super trend, and I will say I'll call it as YouTube. You can name whatever you want, it's up to you. So YouTube, and then I'll say this is also YouTube, just for this thing, right? So, and then once yeah, YouTube, let's put the YouTube on the first. All right, also let's put YouTube. I think if you are familiar with coding, if you are a techie, I think you will definitely understand what I'm doing. But even if you are not a techie, that's absolutely fine. So you can definitely understand this. So now we have added this, right? This particular indicator. So whatever you see short title, that's what which appears here. Let me change this to YT. Then you got to see that update on the chart. So yeah, you can see YT here. So now I will hide this or delete this. No, I will hide this. Because I need to use this tomorrow. All right, I think that's all. Once you do that, the indicator is pretty much up and running there. The only thing I added is the volume. I'll come back to volume in a moment. But right now, overall, this is the indicator. Just give me 30 seconds. All right. So if you do not have the volume here, so this is how the indicator would look like. So, but however, inbuilt this one, we already have the volume, so it's not required for you to again put it. But if you wanted to have a double confirmation, you can do that. And also, after adding volume, we'll also explain what I'm trying to achieve out of this particular indicator. All right, so this is so you have the volume, and then you have the standard, you have the simple moving average. That's all you have, nothing else. All right, so the way which this indicator works is let's say we have only three individual indicators here. The first is VWAP. This is the VWAP, the blue line that you see. Just give me again 30 seconds. All right, I'm back. So as I said, we have only three indicators here. The first is VWAP, the line that you see in the blue here. That's the first one. And then after that, we have the SuperTrend. SuperTrend I tend to use most often. The reason is it's very rarely gives the fake signals. And then if you have some patience to wait and then take the trade, so this is my view the best indicator. And then we have the volume here. Then we also have the moving average here. So volume and the moving average had put 20, but you can also put, I think in the code it says 21, but let's keep 21. So the way which this indicator works is, so VWAP, the price got to be, in order for a buy signal to come, the price got to be above VWAP, and then the super trend got to be green. That is the condition. But also, at that point of time, we want to ensure that the volume is more than the average volume. So here, as you can see here, right? So we got the buy signal somewhere here. So all the three conditions are met here. So we are getting a confirmation saying that the price is above the VWAP, the price is above the super trend, and also price when we are entering, the volume is above the moving average. So initially, I would suggest, let's see, if you're actually doing the starting of the day, it is better to put 3 minutes. The reason is usually the volumes, for example, if you take today's volumes, right, a lot of times the expiry day trade volumes, they would spike up after the market opens, not necessarily a day before. So you will not be able to, most of the times the average is obviously higher than the previous one. So that's the issue out there. So we get very rarely a power issue, but I think today is probably the first time we got almost like after a year. It's I assume you're able to see my screen, right? Is it true? Can one of you confirm? Hello? Okay, you're able to see my screen. One second. Let me, I think I'll have to, because that is connected to one more screen, I'll have to share it again. I'll share here itself. All right, I assume you're able to see the screen. Okay, all right. So I'll have to stay on the screen. Usually use other monitor, but that's not working. In case if you have any issues, post it here. All right, as I said here, so it uses VWAP and then the super trend as you can see here, and then you also have the volume. As I said, the buy condition, the price got to be above the VWAP, and then it got to be super trend got to be green, and then the volume got to be higher. So when it comes to sell, it's the same condition. The price got to be below the VWAP and below the super trend, and then the volume at that point of time, wherever this happens, that got to be above the moving average. So the moving average that you see here and then the within the code could be little different. That's where you might see some issue here and there. But then as you can see here, we got a solid signal, which is at about 11:15 today. I think that's where the reversal technically happened. This is on Nifty. So Sensex, you will not be able to get this thing. The reason is the volume is not there. So Sensex it will be little inaccurate, but the Nifty definitely you will get the volume. That's the reason you will be able to see the move here. So that's what it is. And then after that, once we got this move, I think technically Nifty until 236, so we did not have any challenges. And after that, again, we got, I don't think it gave any buys, sell signal. The reason could be volumes could be little lower. Or sorry, it is above the VWAP. So that's the reason it did not really give any exit signal. So while there is a dip in the, I think that in this case, I think it is absolutely all right. There is no issue with the signal itself. So it did not give a false signal at least. So we are still able to stay on the buy call here. So that's on that. And we can also apply this on to, let's say, let's take a stock also, right? So stock also is very similar. We got a buy signal for Bajaj Finance at about 9:15. And after that, there was no sell signal at all. So from here, 882. 885. So it to be honest, here we are not showing the options, right? So if somebody does options, it will mostly will give good results out there. You can do either of them, Nifty or Sensex, any of those things. So that is absolutely possible. One second, I got the power back. Any questions so far on whatever I covered? So now let's look at how you can apply this on the option prices. So today I try to do this on option prices. Let's look at option prices. So now I have a couple of options here. Let's go with this one. This is, I think, 81200. Probably this size quite well. This is 80800, but I think so I will tell you when to use 3 minutes, when to use 3 minutes. Now you can see here, right, the volumes here are quite massive. I think this is very important thing for you to understand. So this one, right, you can see the volumes previous day were very low, and today being expiry, suddenly you got to see volumes in the millions, not necessarily in the thousands. Now what would happen, right, if you try to use, let's say, 5 minutes moving average here, you will always get the wrong results. The reason is, let's say if you have 21 moving average, it would look at 21 occurrences of 5 minutes of previous occurrences. However, the previous occurrences are absolutely negligible. So you'll end up getting the wrong data. That's the reason initially when you're start with 3 minutes. And then let's say when you reach at about 10:30, 11, that's where you probably would move to 5 minutes. Somewhere here you'll have to move to 5 minutes. I think probably 10:30, 11 kind of a thing. At least you will get sizable 5 minutes candles. So let's say we are at 11:15, right? You get about almost like 10 to 15 candles you'll get. So that's where the value would be a lot more better. However, if you get on to after 2 o'clock, you can definitely get on to 15 minutes also. But 15 minutes also, you have very less candles here. So I think probably 15 minutes may not be the right number. So let's stick on to 5 minutes. So 5 minutes, I think it's going to be a lot more accurate for you to take some decisions out there. So here for this particular trade, we got a signal at about 1 o'clock, and this is a buy signal for 80800. And remember, we are at 5 minutes. As I said, after 11:30, you can probably switch on from 3 minutes to 5 minutes, just because you get the uh, you get the uh, you get a lot more data for you to do the moving average. That's the only reason that you'll have to switch between 3 to 5 minutes. So if I get time, I will also automate that. While you might be still on the 5 minutes or 3 minutes, but then there is a way to inside the code, depending on the time, you can actually change the 3 minutes or 5 minutes or 15 minutes thing. But I'll before that I'll experiment and then see how it works, right? So this particular 80800, in fact, it gave a sell signal yesterday at about not as yeah yesterday at about 10:40. The signal was valid until 1:42. So this is basically it started about 6:57. If somebody sold this option, they would probably exit somewhere here at about 1:43, and then they can again do a reversal of this particular thing. So and then this is entire thing is on the 5 minutes. So yesterday 5 minutes is already, the reason is the volumes are absolutely low anyway. You will not be able to get any incorrect signals out there. So now let's also pick up one more. This is Sensex and call 2500. So apologies, Nifty call 2500. So we got a sell signal yesterday at about 10:40, and then this again exited at about 1:25 today morning, and then there was no false signal here. It's in fact eventually it went up. And let's also look at this one. So this is 24,600 P, and we got the sell signal at about, so we got some buy and sell here. So we got one buy and then one sell. So sell we got at about 11:20, and then there was no exit signal at all. So I think that's the indicator. So I mean, you can use this also, but additional information, but that's absolutely all right, not required. Yeah, false signals, how to, I think the false signals are part of life, so we just can't do anything. So what would happen? It is, so no indicator is a, what is a, it will be 100% right all the times, right? So just that whenever you get some signal, ideally exit, and then obviously how you can again enter in case if it is a false signal. But that is only thing that you will pay for the brokerage charges and STT, but beyond that, I do not want it to lose money out there. But I think one more way that you can do is typically you should wait for the candle to finish or fresh candle to start. That is also one way to do that, because SuperTrend generally it reacts quite early. So you suddenly see when there is a fall, and then it turns from, let's say, green to red, and then vice versa, right? So that point of time, it is good to wait for the candle to finish. But then if you're in the 15 minutes candle, I would not expect you to wait, because that's too long for you to take a call. And one more very important thing is your entry and exit got to be in the same time frame. It should not happen that you enter at 3 minutes and then exit at 15 minutes. That wouldn't that would be disaster. So just remember, and all your parameters, entry and exit, got to be absolutely same. Suppose SuperTrend, for instance, here it says 10:3, but let's say if you move to, let's say, 10:4, for instance, right? So your exit also got to be on 10:4. It should not be 10:3. That's very important. And same any other thing, right? So now we have the 21 as the thing. And if you move to, let's say, 9 as the parameter, for instance, or maybe 10, for instance, right? So you'll have to stick with the same 10. So here you will not see a difference. The reason is we have to change here, right? So all right, this is an actionable indicator just for the thing had put. So this is just for your because we can't see the volume here, it will be a additional difference for you. I think that's all. Let me take some. So that's all the indicator. So you can apply on the options, you can apply on the indices, you can apply on, let's say, the stock. This is MCX. I think we got a buy signal at about 11:25, and then I think today I saw somebody shared the Bosch 4000 C. I think let's check this if it is going to give any signal. Yeah, so this we got a, obviously I did not trade, but this we got a buy signal at about 10:50, and then after that it's I think it gave good money. I think 32 to almost 433 rupees, which is substantial move. All right, so let me take some questions out here. So can we use it in? Okay, let's. Can be used for crude. Crude, I do not trade, but I think it can be used. But just check. See, the thing is either it is crude or gold or anything, right? The chart is chart. So, and any instrument there would be violent moves. There is nothing like it doesn't work for a certain thing, right? So that's very important. SuperTrend settings I have used. I mean, generally I use 10.4, but in the here its default is 10.3. But you can always change. I think I answered that. How to avoid false signals? Can you apply it for the swing trading? Yeah, I mean, swing trading, I shared one more indicator, but I think, I mean, ideally you can apply this also. There is nothing wrong in it. But then anything that you do, I suggest you to do some forward testing. Do not directly jump and then apply and then lose money. That's very important. Okay, let me show this. Superintendent difference. Yeah, this is there is I mean, calculation wise there is nothing different. So SuperTrend, I think if you know, it uses ATR, that is the average true range as the one of the parameter, and then there is a factor to that. So now the only two things that you can change, how ATR, how old that you would like to go, right? So either it is 5 periods, sorry, either it is 10 periods or 20 periods or 15 periods. That's one parameter. And the second one is a factor. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. So I mean, the default is 10.3, but you can use 10.4 if you wish to. Does it repaint? Yes, of course it does. And false signal, I answered. And then if you convert it to strategy, can we backtest results? So trading view. So we can do, but then the only challenge is trading view backtesting. It would actually consider that you are doing on the futures, not on the options. So options, unfortunately, can't do backtesting on the trading view. That's the only difference that you will get. But you can definitely convert into strategy and then do the backtesting. That's absolutely possible. Trend following indicator is customized or it is available. I did not get this question. So if you're talking about swing trading, I do look at my Twitter feed. You will get an indicator there. Is there a way to scan all stocks which are giving buy sell signals? And no, I don't think there is a way to do that. You'll have to write some separate program. The crude way is you will open 10 screens and then put this indicator and then put alerts, but then that's crude way. That's not the right way. But I don't think there is a scanner or the screener in TradingView. I'm not aware. If somebody knows, definitely they can let me know. But as of my knowledge, it is not there. How do you edit? Yeah, I think I did cover in the starting of the video. Prasad, if you missed it, have a look at the video starting of this video, right? So you will be able to get that. I'm not going to repeat that because I already had shown that. I think that's all the questions that we have. And if you do not have any other questions, I'm happy to wind up this one. I think, however, I think somebody asked me, can we automate this? I think this was one question that came early. Yeah, I think who is this? Karim Khan asked this question. Can we automate this? We can automate, but not in trading view. So at least I do not know that we can automate in trading view, but the way which it can be done is you'll have to store the option prices somewhere, and then you'll have to calculate all the three indicators, which are in this case SuperTrend, VWAP, and then the volume. For volume, again, you need to calculate the moving average, and then you'll have to scan through whatever the option prices that is stored, and then you can build some Python program to read that and then create the signals out of that. That's absolutely possible. So I'm actually working with one of the broker. I'll let you know a little later. So where they were actually looking at exposing the some of the indicators as APIs. So once you have that, automating some of these things would be a lot more easy. Once I have access to, I mean, I already have the access to the indicators. I did not get time to code. Once I complete the Python code, we will do one demo. So I think that way, what happens, you will be able to, it's not required for you to sit in front of the system. I mean, obviously you can monitor, but once you have the code, which would actually really look at what are the option prices that are satisfying this criteria, and then they will go and then execute the real code. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We can shortlist the stocks which are that's absolutely possible. So, but I think you can also do this on the futures, not necessarily stocks, because futures will be a lot more accurate compared to stocks, especially for doing derivatives, right? So you can actually apply this on the futures price, and then you can get the alerts, and then you can obviously execute the trades out there. LMA, yeah, it's available, but then I have made some changes to this one. The original LMA, it looks too colorful. Then I had to make some changes to make it less colorful. That's all. You will find this indicator. You will suppose if I go to the code, uh, logarithmic moving average LMA. I think I forgot the name, but the person who created this indicator. But as I said, I made some changes to this so that the colors and other things are a lot more easy for me to understand. That's all. All right. So I think that's all from my end for now. And thanks all of you for joining. And if you have any questions, you can probably ping me on Twitter, or otherwise, I think that's probably the only way. You can ping me on Twitter, and then if you have anything else, you can write in the comments here. But otherwise, that's all for today. Have a great remaining Tuesday, and yeah, I think we have expiries coming up, right? I think one more. Sorry, when is it? Thursday. We have almost like 4 expiries, so um, be careful, and that's all. Have a great day. Bye bye. Please share the code. I think you need to ping me on Twitter. You will get it. Take care, all of you. Bye bye.